Still talking health and talking doctors and some people who will not be participating in bloodless surgery in the next 5 days or more. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has declared a 5-day warning strike following the failure of the federal government to meet its demands. After its extraordinary National Executive Council meeting held yesterday, the doctors announced that strike will commence on Wednesday, May 17th, and end Monday, May 22nd.
Recall that NARD had on April 29, 2023, issued a 2-week ultimatum to the federal government to meet its demands or face industrial disharmony. To tell us more about this morning we're joined by Dr. Eniefiok Jumbo Hezekiah, Vice President 2 of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors. Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. Please, we'd like you to unmute your device. It doesn't seem that we can hear you in the studio. But whilst that is going on, it's important for us to understand what the basis of this warning strike is. So we'd like you to share with us what are the concerns of the Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors. What exactly are you asking for from the federal government?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. We are simply asking the federal government to implement all the agreements that we've reached with them, and this has to do with the burning issue of brain drain and severe manpower shortage in the health sector across the country. And in fact, a state of emergency should be declared in the health sector. And we are also asking that the welfare of our members be looked into, which according to our study done about a year now, shows that 80% of the reasons why medical practitioners, the clinical staffs are leaving the health sector for greener pastures is because of the poor welfare and remuneration being received. And also, we are also saying that the infrastructure in the health sector needs to be revamped, and these and many more are our requests from the federal government and also the state government.
Well, in the last couple of years, resident doctors have, either gone on strike or threatened strike. There's been back and forth with the federal government every now and then. Would you say that the government does just not agree with your terms or doesn't fulfill its promises made to resident doctors? What exactly is going on here? Because I'm certain that there would be another conversation with the Minister of Health. There will be also another conversation with the Minister of Labor and Employment. Who fails resident doctors the most?
Well, for me, I would think the government needs to come to terms with the fact that is the government ready to solve this problem, or they are just window dressing the problems? So when they come to this conclusion, then we would be able to sit down at a round table and forge the way forward. A couple of times we have committees are set up, recommendations are made, but those recommendations are not followed through, they are not implemented. Even the replacement of doctors that have left the system is still something that is a tall order, because even after the recommendations were made in February, up till now, 3 months down the line, there is no circular to that effect. So we don't know whether the government is actually sincere with meeting the health needs of the Nigerian populace.
All right, I'm going to quote something that the Minister of Labor and Employment was quoted to have said in a newspaper. He said, and I quote, that's of course Mr. Ngige, he said, the resident doctors are suffering from entitlement syndrome. He of course went further to say that we have been managing their matter and have given them everything they want, including the residency training program funds. We are paying them even when in training. We pay them a full salary, pay them all the allowances, and you decided that we have not done enough. He of course insists that the federal government has gone to great lengths to give you everything that you want. What do you think about this?
Well, if they've done enough, the doctors will not be leaving the country. Not just the doctors, the nurses will not be leaving, and other health workers. In fact, we received reports which were very alarming just this week that about 40 nurses submitted letters of resignation in a particular federal institution around my client here. So you see that people are living in droves, and we were calling on government to come and look at the real cause of the problem, not just treating the symptoms. And they said that they've given us everything, and we are saying that they've not. And they let them come and tell us if they have met with us, even this year. We've issued several ultimatums, two ultimatums last year and one this year, and yet we've not been met by government. See, take this or leave it approach is undemocratic. And imposition of laws to tie down doctors in Nigeria for 5 years won't solve the problem. That's even against the international labor laws, and we all know this.
All right. Well, quickly also speak, to those who say that resident doctors, of course, it's the patients that suffer, it's the people that get to suffer when these strikes take place. So what will your words be to those who say that the doctors need to consider the patients that will will be at risk when you go on strike?
Now, it is even because of the patients that we are doing this. It is because of the patients, the love that we have for the patients, and the love that we have considering even the transition period that is around the corner. And that's why we are doing this. Otherwise, it would have been a total indefinite strike. Now, it is us, the doctors and the nurses, that are being beaten up by patients when they are not satisfied, when there is no equipment to work with, when the one doctor is attending to more than 10,000 patients at once. You see, the doctor-to-patient ratio is 600 to 1 doctor, but today it's up to, our colleagues are collapsing. Our members, some of them are in depression because of being overworked. And we are telling the government, come to our aid, come to the aid of Nigerians, and not turn a blind eye to these things. And we are yet to be met. We gave a 2-week ultimatum. Up till now, we've not been seen.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. The strike commences tomorrow. We hope that it doesn't, and that the government is able to find the government and the resident doctors are able to find a middle ground to ensure that this does not happen. Because, like they say, when the two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers, and the patients certainly are the ones who feel the impact of this. We hope that your needs are met, and we can find a middle ground. Thank you for sharing some time with us this morning.
Thank you very much.